Now, if you would please listen, so I don't want to have to explain this again. It is relatively, well, I wouldn't say it's super easy, but you'll notice that every button on here has not only the button, which is what its normal function is, like this one says cosine, but it also has in yellow letters another thing, and then in green letters another thing. And each button actually does three different things, because there's not enough buttons. Ariel says why, because if you could imagine looking at this keyboard, if they did a different button for everything on here that did this would be 3 times as big, and you'd be searching forever to try to find those different things. In order to get those buttons to work, you have to know the little code on them. In other words, this little second button, that means if you push that button before you push any other button, you get the thing that is in yellow. In other words, if you wanted, well, what you would, for example, you see the on button there? If you turn your thing on by pushing the on button there in the bottom left-hand corner, the only way to turn this off is, you'll see the word off is in yellow. You have to push the second button first, and then push the on button again. That means you want the yellow thing to happen there. Okay, so it won't turn off until you do this. And that's a good idea, because if you're in the middle of something and you accidentally hit that button, you don't really want it turning off in the middle of your thing. So you really have to be intentional to turn it off. Same thing with the green button, this alpha button, because you can type equations in here and you'll see there's letters. There's like the letter X, Y, Z on that second to the bottom row in green. In order to get that to happen, you have to push the alpha, the green button, and then you push whatever X. And apparently there's somehow to lock it. I don't claim to be anywhere near the authority on this, because the calculators that they had when I was a kid and actually used them were nothing at all like this. So, I don't, there's going to be things like Nick and I spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out why we tried to type something in and it didn't work. And the reason was because the thing has different modes that you can set, and it was set on the wrong mode, and yada, yada, yada. So anyways, we're going to start off with the basic of simplest sort of things. Something you have to understand is that, children, a calculator follows those order of operations, okay? I mean, it's really simple to do like 17 times 6 because it's just 17 times 6. But you want it to do more than that for you. You want to be able to do kind of long, complicated sort of equations there. Okay, so that's where this little sheet is going to walk us through those sort of things, because it actually does a really good job of exposing you to kind of what you need to type to get whatever you need to happen there. So we're just going to start with that. I should do this. Let me did I push record on this? I did. Sorry. Sorry about that. Look at this thing here, and it gives you the answers. But you will know what's happening here. If you want just to square a number, go ahead and turn your little bad boys on. The clear button, if you got something on there you don't want, there is clear in the upper right-hand corner of this little thing right here. Clear button. Sorry. Clear button. Push that and it'll go away. If you get something that won't actually clear it, and for some reason it doesn't seem to happen, there's also a, what's it called there? Where is it at? Quit. This little yellow quit. If you push second and then the mode button, I think it shuts it, doesn't turn it off, but it clears everything that's there, because sometimes stuff is stored there. So one of those two, either clear or quit will get you there. If you want, because squared things happen so often, there's one button that just squares things. 6 squared, you just push 6, and there's a X that has a squared. Whatever button you push in there and click X squared will square whatever that number is. So if you do that, you should get 36, right? Without pushing enter, I believe, right? Oh, you have to push. You have to push enter. Okay. So there's one way. If you want to do the next thing, which is to the third power, you'll see there's no X to the third power there. So you have to enter that. You go 6. On a calculator, the little caret, that little upside down V is called a calculator. You push 6, caret, 3, enter. That means 6 to the third power, and you'll get 6 times 6 times 6. Right? Okay. If you look at problem number 3, which is 6 to the 5th minus 1 power. Okay, because of the order of operations, unless you do this the right way, I don't believe you'll get the right answer here. And the way that you would do that, you will see here these parentheses. I am very sure that you have to do, you clear that, you're going to push the 6, the caret button, and because you have an operation that has to happen in that square up there for the power, you have to put open parenthesis, and then what was it? X minus 5 minus 1. 5 minus 1, closing parenthesis, and then enter. Even though you know, I mean, obviously if you were doing this at home or for yourself, you just put 6 to the 4th power. But because you're entering it and we're just working on the calculator, you're going to do that. Got that? Reverse J. Good. Now, let me ask you a question. For problem number 4, negative 3 squared, your answer should be what? Without looking at the answer they have written there. It should be negative 9. Because in that problem, the negative's not getting squared. It's only the 3 that's getting squared. And if you push it in your calculator, how do you push negative 3? Because what happens if you push this minus sign first without anything else? What's it do? It says answer, doesn't it, or something? Okay, if you want to start with a negative, this is the little thing you push down here. You go negative 3 squared. Negative 3 squared should give you a negative 9 answer. Correct? What? No, it didn't.
No, it did.
No, it didn't. Evan, I can tell you, you did something wrong because
I probably did.
negative, Evan, did you clear everything?
Yeah.
Negative, this 3 squared. What did you get?
9.
Thank you. Now, the difference between that and problem number 5 is what's getting squared is both the negative and the 3. In problem number 5, you got to start with the parenthesis, negative 3 parenthesis squared, because that time you're telling it to square both the negative twice. And then the last one, that number what, 7, 8, whatever it is, just that top part. For number 6, you have to do the negative first, then the parentheses, then the 3, then the parentheses, then the square. And everybody's pretty happy there, aren't you? And again, that just shows you that the calculator does order of operations. Gosh, what did I do here? Let me do this. I did 6 plus 8.
What is it, the delete thing? Is it the delete?
Alright. Now, just to show you that, take a look away from the machine. If you enter this in your calculator, 6 plus 8 times 2, and you put all that in there and don't do it one step at a time, what should your answer be? Well, calculator follows the order of operations. It does this first. And if you do 5 plus 8 times 2 and then hit enter, you're going to get 21. If you go 5 plus 8, enter, it'll do that first and then times 2, and you'll be wrong if that's the way you do it on your thing. But the calculator will look at this. If you enter those 3 things in that order, 5 plus 8 times 2, the calculator's smart enough to know that order of operations say you do this first, and it will do this and you'll get 21. Okay, but you can't go 5 plus 8, whatever, and then do whatever, otherwise it won't follow that order of operations. So, look at problem number 7. Let me look at number 7 on here. You have to look at this when you're doing when you're doing a bunch of different operations, you have to understand what's going to happen here and how you want it to happen on your calculator. Calculator is going to do exponents first. Well, it's going to do grouping symbols first, parentheses, correct? There are no parentheses. So if you type this in here just the way it is, it's going to square that, it's going to square that, it's going to multiply that, divide that. Just type it in the way it is and see if you get the right answer. You should. Slash is division. Slash is division. Two squared
That's right, I got mine.
Negative. Yes, I got it.
4
You get the yeah.
squared plus 6 divided Okay, now, stop. Everybody got the first part right, because you just typed it in the way it was. This one, you have to realize this. And this won't work with your calculator the way you have it unless you do this right. A fraction line is a grouping symbol, which means in a calculator or whatever, there is no way, you can't type all this and then say divided by 2 because it's going to give you that answer that you got before because it's really the same problem. So you have to understand that you're going to have to insert on your own grouping symbols because in math, we always do the whole top all the way down to one number before you can do the bottom. A fraction line is a grouping symbol. So you're going to have to, if you see this and you want the right answer, you're going to have to put the whole top in parentheses because you want it to do that first and then that 2 on the bottom afterwards. So parenthesis, do all this, parenthesis, divided by 2. Otherwise, you will get the wrong answer and it wouldn't be right. And it tells you negative 43 is the answer. Hopefully you got that. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, we're making such progress.
Yay.
Okay. Stop me there if you don't get that. And that's what this thing talks about. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. PEM does. I don't know if I've ever used that. The square root button, children, is a second function of the square button. I think they tried to do the undo buttons with the do buttons, like square root is the undoing of squaring something, so that's why it sits there. If you're going to do, there's no number 9. Oh, where's 9? It's over here. So if you're doing the square root of 36, I don't believe you need to put that. You need to put that in parentheses down.
It doesn't. Well, it gives you the first. It gives you the first parentheses for you.
Wait. Well, the question is, do you put 36 in and then push the square root, or do you push?
You put the press the square root.
36 second square root. Okay, yeah. So you have to put the square root sign first. So second x squared and then 36. And I don't believe you have to push the second finishing parentheses. In this case, it'll just assume that's what it is.
Yes, 10 is a problem.
Why is 10 a problem?
0 or 9.
It's not a real number. You can't have the square of a negative
That's
number.
what it said.
And it'll tell you that. Error, non-real answer is what it should say. Problem number 11. You should be able to do that. It's the square root of 36 plus 25. And apparently 12, they couldn't get the square root button to go all the way over top of that there. You should be able to get 36 plus 25 squared. Square root. Square root 36. Now, in problem number 11, you have to put the closing parentheses, otherwise it'll do it like this. So you have to go, it gives you the opening parenthesis automatically. And then you have to push the closing parenthesis plus 25, and that means it'll do this first and then add 25 to it. So you should get that. And then this one, it's a square root of what? 61, which it should be close to something, is it? Yes? We have the answer?
Well, it's the same. It says it's
Are we on second page?
Yeah.
Go ahead and see if you can get the right answers for 14 and 15. Right now. Because they're just a matter of putting parentheses in 4 plus and minus 8. If you're not getting it, come talk to me and I will walk you through it.
I get 8. And then it's really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the answers are there, right?
Yeah.
If you're not getting the right answers, and then we'll talk about this. Do 14, 15, and 16, and we'll talk about the next ones.
Oh, I got
This thing.
Wait, Mr. Wait, Mr. Wait, dude, we're
I don't believe there's a backspace. What?
yeah, how do you get rid of the parentheses?
Which problem?
For 16, it gives you the parentheses.
I believe you leave them there. Leave it there, and then plus 9, plus 2, and then you have to do another open
Okay. Oh, okay.
Just finish the whole thing with a closing parenthesis at the end.
To delete something.
Yeah, you back arrow. Yeah, back arrow, type over, or delete.
What is this?
Which one? Which problem? 14? Wait, you didn't get to work.
Okay. Yeah, for 16. What do you do?
I got negative.
No, no.
No, that's exactly what it's like.
The thing doesn't,
Yeah. This thing is.
which one?
No, that is right. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna do it.
Did you not get 20?
Oh no, I messed up.
Negative.
Hold on.
It's not a negative 4, it's a minus. And that'll give you different things all the way around.
Okay, Kelsey, then I didn't do that.
Did everybody get the 14, 15, 16, 17?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I got it.
Tell me if you not get one.
Yeah, we're not getting it. Yeah, 16.
You need a closing. You need another.
Wait, how do you get rid of it?
Back and arrow.
Wait.
It only works sometimes.
That-
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Emily, are you
They
posting
just
something?
I do, I want it. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
My brother.
I
need
something.
We're just like breaking your wedding.
I thought you were doing
Oh,
this.
Here, yeah.
He was
that's right.
doing stuff. We were exploring.
You didn't.
I don't understand this.
Square root of 9 plus 2.
Why?
Another parenthesis.
Wait, if we break it, can we make it like something second?
3 minus 6.
Is
Square root of-
it minus six or negative six?
And then closing parenthesis.
I was thinking for 7 squared. I tried to buy it.
Oh,
Like, that's the
okay.
answer?
I got it.
Oh, I didn't get it.
You didn't put it on the.
I don't know how that number sounds.
I got 5. I did not get
Yeah.
For those of you struggling with 16,
Don't put the.
for 16, you just have to remember, this whole thing is under parentheses, so the whole thing is getting square rooted. So when you push that square root sign, it automatically gives you that opening parenthesis. You type this in, you have to type another opening parenthesis. This closing parenthesis closes that, and then at the end you need a second closing one to close that one. If for some reason it doesn't like you to leave that parenthesis open at the end.
Oh,
That's what other people, maybe, most people it didn't work unless you put that, maybe it does, they just did something.
It worked for me. Yeah, it worked for me. I just did.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
I think I'm.
Like, it's, I got negative,
Well, again,
like 5.8.
you are going to have to put a closing parenthesis there, and then divided by that minus that.
Yeah, I got like -5 points.
I would put this in parentheses to start with, divided by, and then I put this in parentheses to finish with and see if you get the right answer.
I didn't. I got the wrong.
So it says on your paper.
I got negative
0.5.
Yeah, that's what I got. I was like,
I would, when in doubt, put that in parentheses and then divided by that in parentheses.
Wait, so you put the parentheses
Okay.
first?
What's that? Yes, I would. Although, in order of operations, it should do square roots first, that's powers and
boom, I got it
exponents.
right.
Then it would do this, and then it would add that, and then subtract that, and that's not gonna be the right order, if you think about the way it would do it. This should be one group, that should be one group, and then some.
Okay. Ooh.
Wait, you did get it or didn't get it, Sammy?
Is that how you do it?
You didn't? Did you put a parenthesis to start with? Parentheses, square root.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Divided by parentheses.
I feel like it's wrong. Is the answer 0.5? Did you get it, Sammy?
I did negative 5. I got it.
You have to put.
Yeah, I got negative 5 first.
Wait, how do you do it?
You're gonna have to put a parenthesis here, it's gonna give you a parenthesis here, then you gotta put a parenthesis there, and then another parenthesis there.
No, you don't.
Well, you have to at least put a parenthesis around the bottom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, otherwise what it would do is, if you didn't put that parenthesis there, it would square this, divide that into that, and the last thing it would do is subtract that 6. And you needed to subtract the 6 before you divide. Alright, now on to the tough stuff, children.
I figured it out.
When you see this, okay, the calculator is not going to put the numbers in there for you. You've got to at least get it to the point where you can take the numbers and enter it in your calculator. And this is where, from the time you were in 7th and 6th grade, I said, when you're substituting numbers in, you definitely need to put parentheses in there. Okay, so when you do this, and you need to understand, it needs to do this as a grouping symbol first, and that as a grouping symbol next. So it's going to look like this: parenthesis x squared minus 2 parenthesis z closing parenthesis divided by big parenthesis minus 3 parenthesis x plus parenthesis z.
Don't divide by 0.
What's that?
Divide by 0.
So when you plug the numbers in, x is 4, you're going to have to put a 4 in here. Z is 2, you have to put a 2 in there. I probably should use a different color. Like I said, life isn't always that easy. 4, 2, 4, what is that, Z?
Like what?
2.
Yeah, mine says error syntax. Yes.
Yeah, I got error.
I got divide by 0.
Let me let them see.
Did anyone else get that? Or
What?
did just me divide by 0?
Okay.
I got error syntax.
Negative 1.2.
Shoot, yeah, that's right. How do you get it?
What?
What did you get?
It doesn't like it when there's 2 parentheses without anything between them.
Like which one?
Like when you have parentheses,
I got 0.
parentheses, 4, parentheses.
Oh, it doesn't like that?
No, it doesn't.
But I don't know if there's, well, you guess you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you just put parentheses, 4 squared minus 2 times 2, parentheses, divided by.
You're scary.
The rest of it.
Let me look and see.
So I'm
I've
gonna
already
parentheses,
calculated. I'm trying to figure this out.
That's what you get. How did you get syntax? I got 0. Square.
Can't get
Negative 1.
Oh no, I did it wrong. Wait, no, that's right. Minus 2.
Okay, let's try this again.
I got it, negative 1.2.
Yeah, I got that one.
I did it just like this and it worked out.
Yeah,
All those parentheses.
I got 16.
I got 0.
I
got 0. I got 0. That's what I got.
Do you want me to talk you through it?
Yeah.
It's just
One step at a time, Kelsey?
Yeah, that's what I
Bro, I love this thing. I love this thing.
You put parentheses
Oh,
right
I
on.
got that.
No, I got that one.
You don't have to wait.
There's no
Yes.
Wait.
Oh!
There's a reminder before.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Wait,
What?
just because we don't have much time left, we'll pick this up later. Just to show you, just for fun, going off of the little thing here, clear your thing out, hit clear. Hit your clear, Evan.
Okay.
Evan,
did.
Evan,
Yes.
clear.
I did, it's clear.
Go ahead on the, I'll show you on the calculator here. Push this button. Push the Y equals button, please, for me. Okay, this is graphing linear equations or graphing any kind of equation. You'll see the first thing you should see, Y equals something, correct?
Yeah.
Push, I want you to put the letter X in there, which means you gotta push the green alpha button. The green alpha button, and then the X, you gotta be careful, the X goes with the stow button, not with the 1 button. So alpha, stow, you should see an X appear on your screen, right?
Yeah.
And then push the X squared button. Got it?
Okay.
And then on the upper right hand corner it says graph, and you will get the graph of X squared, which you'll see is that parabola that we talked so much Wait, and then do the same thing. Do the same thing with X cubed and see what you get. You remember the X cubed graph? It's supposed to go. And you probably could do the square root graph, which was that Nike swish. And I don't know if it has absolute value on it. What's that? X cubed is that caret. X and then the caret 3.
Oh my god, crap.
Oh,
Wait, how do you all the same thing?
wow.
Nick,
Alright. Wait, how did you get out of it? Oh, block! Oh, block!
What does X to the 4th look like? I don't know.
we need to find out.
Let's find out. That's what I'm doing. X to the 4, let's see.
Does it do anything?
It's a parabola.
It's a really tight parabola. Yeah.
How about, can you do the square root of X?
Yeah. I don't know. X to the 100.
Oh, you know you should do that. X.
X to the
graph
anything. Just keep saying invalid
This mine is
Zach, I broke the graph.
No, mine did the square root of X.
Calvin, do like X to the 9.
Syntax square.
Slice the graph in half.
Dude, what the heck?
I know, it's like 2 lines.
That's
X to the 4,000.
Trying to put in
Oh.
that's caret 3.
Calvin, do X to the 4,000.
Alright, children, unfortunately, our calculator fun has come to an end. Second off, put them back in their, pull this thing off, put it back on top.
I hate you.
The on button is the second off button.
I hate you.
I'm going to look up.
Grab that.